Well, good morning. Uh, Time for some more news that I make up based on current headlines. I'm sitting at my son's computer in our toy room. As you can see, shitload of Legos. There's a Millennium Falcon. Where the fuck am I pointing? Right there. That's a Millennium Falcon. I got two of them. I used my kid as an excuse to get some of the toys I wanted when I was a kid. So we have two. One he's allowed to play with, one that's Dad's. Never had a Millennium Falcon when I was little, and that's just the coolest spaceship ever, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, let's dive into the headlines. Ooh, excuse me. Keep up my modesty. Wouldn't want to shock you people. All like four of you who are probably gonna watch this, but I don't give a shit. How many people? Oh my God, what do you want? I'm being pestered by a small dog. Boop. Yeah, that's what you get. You get booped on the nose for interrupting me. I'm trying to do a thing here. Boop. Again. Preemptive boopage. All right, so let's look at some of the headlines we got here. Today in politics, the majority of Americans tend to agree with Democrats on top issues, polling shows. Polling. You know, I don't know. I'm not going to go into what I think that's actually about because that's just a nonsense statement. Especially polling, that's so dumb because you can get a poll to say whatever the fuck you want it to say based on who you ask. If you want to find out that the majority of Americans agree with Democrats on top issues, well, you go into the voter registration and you find Democrats and you call up 1,000 Democrats and you say, hey, we called you at random, which they didn't, to ask if you agree with the Democrats on those issues, and they're like, oh, of course, because I'm Democrat. So you can make a poll say whatever the hell you want. This is like a lot of these, studies. Currently they're following the money. I know this isn't funny yet, but we'll get to the funny. This is a partial rant like my normal videos. So you can get a study to say whatever the hell you want it to say because you're going into it following the funding and with a result in mind. Saying, hey, I'm going to prove this. All right, well, it didn't pan out that way, so we'll tweak the data, we'll dump this stuff and fudge the numbers a little bit, keep our government funding coming. Anyway. So anytime I hear something, oh, we took a poll, I imagine, some guy out talking to an actual poll and asking it questions and just writing down the answers that he wants to find out, or that he's been told that he wants to find out. Anyway, let's see. Aviation world faces moment of reckoning. Aviation world faces moment of reckoning. Turns out planes don't actually fly. That's been a mass hallucination for the last 100 years. No one has ever left the ground more than about 3 feet unless they're going upstairs in a big building. Who knew? It's been mass hypnosis. You get to the airport, they got their little hallucinogen coming out of the vents. Airports always smell a little funny. They put you on a bus and they drive you to wherever they want. Granted, some planes go overseas, but turns out they're just driving the buses onto boats. So you sit in the bus the whole time thinking that you're on a plane because of the hallucinogen being sprayed in the airports. So that's and now it's been found out. And so now they're facing a moment of reckoning because, a bus trip shouldn't be that expensive. Let's see, what else we got? Suspected rhino poacher is killed by an elephant, then eaten by lions in South Africa. Oh, Holy shit, that's one of the greatest headlines I think I've ever read. Suspected rhino poacher is killed by an elephant, then eaten by lions. I'm pretty sure the elephant stomped him into a pile of fuzzy pink jello, and the lions probably just cleaned up the mess. But that is awesome. Now I'm not like against hunting. Yeah, okay. I'm not real big on the whole trophy hunting thing. If you're hunting just for the sake of hunting to prove that you can kill something, that I don't agree with. Because it's pretty easy to kill shit. It is not that difficult, especially if if you've practiced your shooting and you're a decent shot. Granted, moving targets, blah blah blah. I'm not going to get into all that, but I think it's a waste, and I think it's kind of dumb, the whole trophy hunting thing. If you need to prove yourself, a man by hunting dangerous game and getting that cool picture, which I gotta admit, some of those pictures are kind of cool. Get the guys. A picture of the giraffes, and the big game. That I get, and I would love, to have some pictures like that. So if I win the lottery, I'm definitely gonna head to Africa on like a big game hunt. But I would bring a veterinarian and a tranquilizer gun. That may not work on elephants because their fin's really thick. Their thin is really thick. Their skin is really thick. It's early on a Sunday morning. It's only 8 o'clock now. I was hoping to sleep in a little bit, but didn't happen. Anyway, so tranquilizer gun, right? That would work probably on the thinner skinned. Maybe on the leopards and the lions, stuff like that. I don't know if I'd try it on like a Cape buffalo because those fuckers are mean. They gotta have a way they can tranquilize an elephant, right? Don't you think? Get that cool shot. But and I wouldn't just shoot it with a tranquilizer dart and take my picture and leave. I don't know. I'd lay out a snack for them for when they woke up. Maybe some lion aspirin, whatever they had. Give lions for headaches. Or elephants or whatever. God, stop popping shit. I got things popping up. It's a new computer. I haven't fully figured it out yet. Technology has kind of passed me by. This is why I'm shooting this on my phone. I don't have like a fancy setup and shit. I don't know. Maybe I will. I need something to entertain myself. Being old and crippled kind of sucks. And it limits the kind of things you can do, and so you get bored a lot when you're, sitting around with back spasms because you can't stand up straight. Anyway, yeah, suspected rhino poacher. I don't see what the big deal is. Oh my God, shut up. I don't see what the big deal is shooting a rhino. Those fuckers are so mostly blind they can't even see you until you're about 20, 30 feet away from them. And if you can't shoot something that's the size of a car from 30 feet away, you should just, I don't know. You should just give back your guns because you suck at that. Anyway, let's see what else we got. News and buzz. Ooh, 2-year-old puts Red Sox player on injured list. Now we've got frickin' rampaging 2-year-olds going around beating the shit out of baseball players. I think that's pretty cool. What, you want to come up? Oh, dear Lord. All right. Well, I guess the dogs are going to be in this too. Hi. Did you need something? Did you want to do the typing? I kind of finished that part. You can't really see her very well, but there's a little snoot. Yeah. She doesn't like it when I ignore her. So, 2-year-old puts Red Sox player on the injured list. I don't really follow sports that much, so I don't really know who their big rival is, the Red Sox. I don't even know. I definitely don't follow sports, but I'm sure the 2-year-old was probably from a rival team and wanted that player out of the action so that his team would win. It's March. Is baseball even going on yet? I don't know what the baseball season is. Let's see. What else we got? McDonald's will no longer offer these items after midnight. No longer offer these items after midnight. What would be the cause of that? Probably sacrificial daggers. They got into trouble with the whole cult thing and human and animal sacrifices. So McDonald's will no longer be handing out sacrificial daggers in their Happy Meals after midnight, which is a shame because, what the hell am I going to do on the weekends now? Pro golfer misses cut after club stolen. Pro golfer misses cut after club stolen. Get more clubs. It ain't that hard. They have stores full of that shit. Hell, I got a set of golf clubs. You can use mine. Oh, wait, no, I don't have a set of golf clubs. I gave them away after my 3rd surgery. I can't, twist much or bend. And there's a lot of bending and twisting in golf. If you want to, actually, hit the ball, you got to kind of bend over. And then it's like a whole bunch of fucking torso twisting. So, I gave my clubs to my nephew. Because he was kind of golfing occasionally, here and there. Ooh, Emilia, Emilia, is that Amelia or Emilia? You can't fucking tell these days. People are spelling their names weird and then pronouncing them even weirder. And what are you staring at? That's the computer. There's no cat over there. But it's just the computer, all right? Now you got to get down. There you go. Stop being weird. So, Emilia, again, I don't know. Clark, Rose Leslie, and John Bradley crash Kit Harington's monologue. I'm pretty sure it was a 67 monologue. It was a British import. And these people joyrided their buddies, little British touring sort of sports car. I think it's kind of like a Mini Cooper, like that sort of body style. It's halfway between a Mini Cooper and the old Jag, the cool little 2-seater sporty Jaguar. Anyway, so that is the British monologue. I believe it was designed by Fiat back in the mid-'60s. This was a 67 monologue that they crashed. And it wasn't even an accident. They just fucking hopped right in. They're like, Kit's being a dick. Let's go crash his monologue. And so while he was doing his little speech thing, they took his keys out of the green room, right? And they went and they just drove that fucker right into a building. I don't know why they all three had to get in the car, but they backed out of the parking spot and floored it and just went across the parking lot and smashed into the side of the building on the other side of the parking lot. It was kind of dumb as far as pranks go. But, that's what happened. And then, here we go. Why Airbnb host says he installed a camera. Admitted to being a pervert. That's it. Boom. A lot of camera stories. Family finds camera live streaming from their Airbnb. How to find hidden cameras in your Airbnb. Well, you know, a lot of people trash places, especially these young fuckers. So it kind of makes sense, depending on where they put the camera, I guess. So why the host says he installed a camera. Well, they asked a couple of people. One of them said, we get a bunch of teens in here and they're idiots and they fuck things up and then they, leave. And then it's hard to get reimbursed for the cost. But the one that this article is about, just total perv. He's like, it's aimed right at the head of the bed because, I really like hair. The guy's got a hair fetish. And it's a little bit of a creep. But that's okay. I don't know, that's a bunch of stuff on CNN. Let's see what Fox News has. Actually, we're hitting up about the 16-minute mark. Ex-Dem staffer admits doxing 5 GOP senators during Kavanaugh hearings. Okay. That's already done. And we know that politics is just a bunch of, I think that South Park episode explained politics the best, where it always boils down to a choice between a giant douche and a turd sandwich. South Carolina men arrested after bodies of 2 women found at home. Found at home? Who's home? They're not really clear at that. Florida woman's murder from 21 years ago solved thanks to tipster. Thanks to tipster. Who waits 21 years to freaking to phone in a tip about a fucking murder? What the fuck is wrong with you people? It's like, I saw Billy kill that freaking some prostitute in his backyard with a shovel. Oh well, on with my day. Go live my life, start a career, join the military, travel the world, come back 21 years later going, God, I probably should have said something about Billy killing that prostitute in his backyard with a shovel 21 years ago. I was busy. I'll give him a call now. Say, hey, not for nothing, but I watched Billy, my neighbor, smack some prostitute in the head with a shovel 21 years ago and then bury the body in the backyard. You might want to go check that out. I figured someone else would have said something, even though my house was the only one that looks over onto Billy's yard. And no one else probably ever saw anything, and it was in the papers for years, these unsolved murders. Fucking Billy. God damn it. Always doing something. Anyway, I think that's enough news for now. You guys have a nice day.